Hey folks, Steve here with a special unboxing video for you today. I am going to be unboxing a game that I just received today in a big gigantic box, and I apologize, the lighting in this room that I'm doing this unboxing in is very different from my usual game room. All of my tables in my game room were kind of too busy. I don't have any room, so I had to go elsewhere to do this unboxing. But the game is Invasions Volume 1, 350 to 650 AD, a historical board game, a game by Philip Thibaut. Thibaut? Not sure. He is actually the guy who designed the original Europa Universalis board game, I believe, if I remember correctly. And so he's returned to the world of board game design and has created Invasions, which for me I'm really stoked on. You can see it says the barbarian invasions of Europe in the Dark Ages. We can complain about the term Dark Ages and just whatever. But the box art is pretty cool looking, and it is a game about the late antiquity period. And that's really an interesting time because it's that transitional state from, the Roman Empire in decline to the eventual rise after this period of new kingdoms in Europe and new political entities and everything else. And so it's really an interesting transitional state, and I like games about transitional states. This was a Kickstarter, and I kind of went full on, full bore on it, and I got the game. I also got some expansion stuff. I think I got everything in my pledge. I'm pretty sure. We're gonna have to go through it, but yeah. So in addition to this box, the actual shipment box that I got, sorry for that, the big shipment box that I got was actually quite large and was heavy. It had a lot of stuff in it, and I will show each in turn. So first thing I'm going to show just right out of the gate is, in addition to the base game, there is an expansion which came in this very large plastic bag, which I feel like I could probably get the contents inside the regular game box once I get there. It is called Into the East, and it includes an expansion of the map further east towards India, and it covers like Persia, I think. Yeah, and some bits of India. There's some instructions that come with it. So we're going to open this up first, just to kind of take a look around at what the content looks like. I have no idea if everything that is here is supposed to be here. We'll have to look at that in time. So there are some special rules that govern the different areas. This is glossy paper rule stuff. You can see player 1 is the Romans, the Huns, the Persians, the Goths, for the particular scenarios that we're looking at. Oh, interesting. Oh, right, because the rules are also in French, so there's a split, and you can read the rules en français. But I can't speak French, so I'm not going to worry about that. So yeah, there you go. Now, I don't know how the base game really plays, honestly, so some of this is not going to gel 100% for me. You have, when you're playing a particular power, you have these faction cards that tell you what your force pool is, your region that you might start in, or areas that you will want to control for extra victory points. It talks about your victory points, your reinforcement schedule. And it looks like, as I just flip, is there a difference between the two? Oh, yeah, because it's in French again on the back side. Okay. So on the front side, English. On the back side, French is what it appears to be. I don't know the significance of the numbers here quite yet, but I suspect it is some representation of the different tribes or factions that you can gain control of or have control of in the game. So it comes with just 4 of these cards. I don't know what the component list really ought to be. I don't see one in the expansion rulebook. Maybe I'm missing it. But it is something I'm going to have to double check. Like, do I actually have everything? I'm not 100% sure. But this is what I got. Got the Juptai, the Epitholat, I'm not even going to try to say it, the Turkai, Guk Turks, and the Kidarai. Kidarai? I'm not sure how to say that. So that's what came in that, and then we have some counters. Now the counters look like they are the rounded brown core, which means that the quality is quite nice. I expect the base game is going to have this as well. Just kind of looking around at everything. I mean, it looks good to me. It's hard to know, is there anything missing, or is there any errata yet? Too early to tell. The game just came out, just started shipping, but it looks like we've got some cool stuff there. Oh, there's a Turkish leader. Looks pretty cool. That looks cool. And then here's the map itself, which gives you kind of a sense of what the base game map is going to end up looking like, because it is decent size just by itself. It's kind of hard to appreciate, but this is a map extension, so you're going to set it aside the other base game map. And you can see there's some values that represent different like economical things or areas. Barriers between zones may have an impact on combat and movement and all that good kind of stuff. So yeah, Into the East expansion, good stuff there. Kind of interesting to see that the map itself is actually the nice mounted yet thin board. So I mean, just as a general statement, I'll say that so far the production quality of the material certainly seems to be in pretty good shape. So far so good there. And I'll go ahead and put this expansion stuff back. There are also, there's another expansion that I sprung for, or at least was a part of my pledge, and that was the Before the Invasions expansion, which comes in a much more regular size plastic bag. So Before the Invasions, and it is making references to the time period just prior to 350. So I believe the Crisis of the third century is what we're going to see here. And as I'm pulling these out, I can already feel like some of the counters may be starting to get loose in the counter sheet, so I'm going to have to be careful here. So Before the Invasions, there's similar special rules here for this. So there's rules governing Rome and Roman emperors, the Tetrarchy, the Palmyrene Kingdom, the Gallic Empire. So this is the Crisis of the 3rd century. That's cool. Nation assignments, once again, Romans, Huns, Persians, Goths. It seems like the way it is like you are the Huns, but you also control the Palmyrens or something like that. And we have to see how this shakes out in terms of the rules. But the Bosporan Kingdom, Visigoths, Sarmatians, and so on and so forth. 250 AD scenario setup. They have the information in there for that. And then some more information on timetable. So it's like an additional scenario. And it looks like we've got more faction cards. So we have the Quadi, the Romani, so the Romans, Roman Empire, Palmyran Empire, and the Gallic Empire, Imperium Galarium. So that seems all pretty straightforward here. Again, I'm not sure what the number significance is. I'm seeing a spread of different numbers, so maybe it has to do with turn order. And very carefully, I want to look at the counters because they are looking like they're going to punch out pretty easy. My package probably got knocked around a little bit in the mail. Everything's in good shape, though, and it looks like, yeah, it's similar good-looking counters. You got a variety of different units and different things represented here. Everything pops nice. The colors are nice. Looks pretty good to me so far. Some of the colors look like, on my camera view, that looks pink, but in reality, it's still more of an off-red pink than a bright pink. So in case how that shows up on your monitor, it's not quite as pink as it looks like on the screen I'm seeing compared to it being in person. I guess it's still pinkish. I don't know. Doesn't bother me. It might bother you. Not sure. So yeah. So there you go. So in total, we've seen a lot of the expansion stuff, right? And it looks like the expansion stuff is all pretty neat. More content for the game itself, which I guess when you have a Kickstarter and you're going all out, That's the thing. All right, I'm having trouble putting this in the bag again. Purely a mechanical problem on my end than a real problem, I guess. Okay. And then finally we have the base game itself, right? So kind of the more important piece, but I just wanted to show there were these extra expansions that you could get. And we're gonna bust the plastic on this guy and get it open. And we'll see what we get inside. It's a heavy box. I mean, no kidding, it is a heavy box. A lot of game here. To parse. Oof. Here we go. Alright, set the plastic garbage aside, I guess. And we'll take a look underneath the box. Okay, so it looks like we've got... oh, that was close. Alright, so we have a rule book. And it looks like a rule book. And it's got a scan code. I'm not sure what that is for. Maybe to get the PDF. If you hit that with the QR app, you'd get the PDF thrown up. I don't know. Again, glossy paper. It's got nice little drawings of stuff here. A little bit of flavor to what you're reading. And it looks pretty good to me. Doesn't look like there's much French stuff here. All in English, but seems pretty straightforward. Rulebook's running 40 pages, so I definitely want to spend some time reading through that, probably. Then we have an appendices book. I'm not quite sure what to think of this. So, calamities, events, Roman stuff, Byzantine stuff, Hun stuff. I'm not sure what all this is intended to be, but it does look like it's trying to aggregate certain types of information in one place, so I'll have to look at, you know, what that really is and says and does, but there we go. There is a packet of score keeping sheets, so you could probably, you know, do this yourself in Excel. They've got a nice pad here you can rip off and use over time. You have, these look like player aid sheets for the different major factions, so Byzantines. This looks like information that is in the appendices book, only separate. So I guess you hand this to the Byzantine player. Here's the Roman player. Byzantine and Romans, I know. Persians, those calamities, those Goths and Huns. I am thinking that there's something up here. I think I remember seeing a message from the publishers of someone getting an early copy and saying that there is some material missing, like scenarios that were supposed to be in here that are not. I suspect maybe there's some confusion over the appendice book and the player aid sheets, so maybe I'm missing some content. My understanding is anything missing has been posted to Board Game Geek, so I'm going to have to look at that. Here are some counter sheets. So here's 4 counter sheets, very similar to what we saw with the expansion. Thick counters, rounded counters, easy punch counters, which is nice. Again, quite a number of them, so you're gonna probably want to organize these guys somehow with baggies or what have you. So there's 4 sheets there. There's also 4 sheets here, and you can see, I mean, there's just counters and counters and counters, but we'll be 5 counters sheets actually on this stack. So it's going to take some time. I nearly just cracked open that Roman counter. So lots to look at there. And here we start getting into the maps. So, ooh, that's a big map. Okay. Oh, geez, I can't even get it. I'm going to pull back a little bit. You can see this is a big map and it's all one big piece. So you're not going to have issues with, parts coming off except if you use the Eastern extension map. But even this, just being Europe, it's a sizable map. You can kind of see the province view of things, Travaria, Austrasia, and all the little symbols and values and everything else. You can see, and obviously over time, these regions will be owned by different factions and doing the whole thing. There are some tracks on here, so there's a track for tracking your civilizedness, I guess, or the barbarians. I'm not sure. VPs. Some of this is all pretty new to me. Treasury, maybe? Uh, I don't know. Some of this stuff is also printed in French, I think, in a couple spots, maybe. So I don't know. But yeah, there you go. So the map quite big, and I have to be careful folding it back up. And then we have even more stuff. So the game comes with some baggies. Appreciated. There is a nice divider here, so you can kind of organize things, even the expansion content a little bit better. And oh gosh, so there's a whole, it's kept together by a slip, but there's a whole bunch of faction cards. So you are playing, over time, a lot of different factions that are playable, that exist on the game board. And even though there are 4 players, the players are going to control more than one faction at a time. I'm not sure how that all balances out or what, or can you come in a conflict with your own controlled nations, but we'll have to see. Custom dice, which is always, something you got to watch out for. You never want to lose custom dice, but they are cool, showing different symbols, different ratings of how well you rolled. And then there are event cards. Now, I'm not sure if there's a real distinct difference between them. They look like they're different colored, maybe used for different scenarios. You can see there are event cards that play in all of this as well. So you have two stacks of event cards. So all things considered, looking at what I've read online, I might be missing some additional scenarios that were maybe supposed to come with the game, but did not come with the game because of a printing error, and that is being made available as a PDF. I'll have to look at that and see what I might have lost or missed or not had that I should have. But overall, I think this is a pretty cool set of stuff. I mean, I like the production quality of everything. It all looks well put together, besides that potential printing issue, I guess. If you ignore that, everything in terms of the actual materials that you have with the game seem pretty cool and pretty high quality. And so the question will be, is the game any good? And I'm not sure when I'm going to find that out for sure. But a buddy of mine who I play World in Flames with also got a copy, I believe, and so we'll have to take a look at him and I getting together and trying to play it someday. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. Maybe this will give you an incentive to check out the game Invasions Volume 1, 350 to 650 AD, designed by Philippe Thibault? I don't know. Hope you enjoyed. Take care, guys. Keep gaming. We'll see you next time.